Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining this Zoom call. We are super excited to have you all here. I think this is an awesome opportunity you guys have to sit down with some of the people who are instrumental in creating My Challenge Tracker. I was thinking about My Challenge Tracker the other day, and I was thinking about when the iPad came out. And I was thinking, like, what a lame idea. Like, who's going to use the iPad? You know what I mean? I was like I'm just going to use my laptop or I'm going to use my phone. I don't need an iPad. And like, lo and behold, like everybody in America has like a tablet in their home now. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I definitely want to be one of those people that is embracing My Challenge Tracker early. You know, like people have done the same thing. Sometimes it's easy to be skeptical about new stuff that comes out, but this is going to be an instrumental tool that's really going to help change your business in a big time way and really help you build effectively. And there's nobody else really that would be better to be able to do that than Caroline Green and Christy Rainier, who are going to be on the call today. We also have Lacey. She's our associate manager over the Northeast region. So keep your eyes peeled as well on the Champions page. After this recording, we will be doing a competition on what we're going to do with this video. So anyway, just a heads up on that. But Caroline, we're excited to have you back from the cruise, you know, ready to go off the hand. And
I'm a little worn out, but bear with me, guys.
Well, thank you so much for making the sacrifice to be able to be on this call. You know,
my pleasure. And Christy as well is here too.
Oh, where's Christy? I haven't seen her yet. Let's see here. Christy.
Hello.
All right. Let's see. Speak up, Christy. I can't hear you.
Hey, I'm here.
All right, there she is. Fantastic. So wonderful to have both of you on the call today. So what I'd like to do, you know, maybe to just start off is just see, you know, if you guys could kind of tell us how My Challenge Tracker was kind of born, like, you know, how that all worked out, you know, why we decided to create this tool, and then maybe we could go into how it works, overviews and everything. Maybe show some of these people how to get My Challenge Tracker working and how to start that process. During that portion, you can go ahead and just hit screen share, and you can show them exactly how to go through that.
You might have to help me out a little bit with this. I'm a little rusty on Zoom. But first of all, I'm sorry, before I get into sort of the origination of My Challenge Tracker, who do we have on the call? Like, so can you sort of paint a picture for who may be here with us?
Basically, who we have is a variety of coaches throughout the entire network. We have a page called My Champions, or called the Champions page.
Okay.
So the Champions page is where we announce this, and everybody else that's on the call is here. We've maxed out our Zoom. After this call goes through, it's going to be basically shared with the regional pages and on the Champions page as well. So it's just meant to be just kind of one of those videos that's marketed towards or positioned towards, you know, any coach, no matter where they're at in the spectrum of coaching.
Okay, great, thank you. So My Challenge Tracker came about actually over a year ago at Coach Summit, or maybe almost 2 years ago now. Carl kind of mentioning that we were interested in working on an app that would help coaches run their challenge groups off of Facebook. So I think everybody's been experiencing some of the challenges that Facebook has been presenting with, you know, if you have too many groups, you couldn't get put in Facebook jail. So there's some of that just from an admin standpoint. Additionally, there's less insight. So, you know, if you have a large group of 50 or 100 people, which many of our coaches had said they do, you know, the vocal minority kind of rise to the top and other participants kind of fall to the bottom. And it gets challenging to understand what people are doing and how engaged are they with the challenge group to be able to coach them better and offer them support. So My Challenge Tracker really was built on the premise that, you know, coaches could create their challenge group, have the benefits, sort of have all of the benefits Facebook offers, you know, with group feeds and the ability to send notifications, set reminders, but also have, you know, be a more contained, exclusive world for the coach. And they then, by participant, can see the last time somebody has logged in to their app, the last time they've tracked Shakeology, logged a workout, you know, so if they've added before and after photos, goals, etc. So it really became a tool from a coach perspective that was much, much more intuitive and therefore actionable. So you can sort by who hasn't checked in a few days, send them a message, and it'll appear personal to the individual, you know, so you can really engage with people to try to keep them on track to hit their goals, you know, which is what it's all about.
That's fantastic.
That's sort of the premise of it, you know, and there's lots of little bells and whistles we can, as you said, we'll get into some of the features for it, but is it possible to get a gauge from the group? I don't know how interactive this Zoom is, and maybe it's just push out, but of who has used it versus who hasn't yet on the call to know how deep I necessarily need to go?
Sure. I would start actually just as fundamental as you can. Because I know that a lot of the people that we deal with on a daily basis may or may not know how.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so I'm gonna start screen sharing then. I think, you know, the best thing we can do, and did we have until noon, or how much time do we have?
So we have 40 minutes from the
40
time
minutes.
it started.
Okay, so let's dig in then and get to the
and the other thing I wanted to say, guys, is if you have questions along the way, please post them in the chat, and I'll try and moderate them if there's time towards the end, okay?
Yeah, that would be great. And please do, like, if there are things that you see repeatedly coming up, feel free to interrupt me. I want to make this as collaborative and useful for people as possible. So, okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to start as a coach. The first place you should go is the coach portal. So I'm going to kind of start with that, and then we'll show that world of setting up a challenge group, and I'll actually just show you one already in progress, and then we'll look at it from the participant point of view in the app. So that's kind of the flow we're going to take. And I'll clicking on this screen share, and I am selecting a window.
It should just be that green button at the bottom. But I think this is great. I think one of the questions I often get is like, hey, I downloaded it on my phone and I can't figure out how to get it to work. You know what I mean? And you do need to go to this coach portal first to be able to get that done. So
right, and we've definitely seen that for sure. So it is important to go there. So, you know, here what you're looking at is the home page. Can everybody see this? Can you guys see this? Yeah. Okay. So this is a logged in version of my challenge tracker portal. And sorry, bear with me while I figure out the technical.
You have not entered any numbers. Please re-enter your meeting ID followed by
Are you guys there?
yep.
Okay, so I'm actually going to log out here for a minute. So this is mychallengetrackerportal.com.
ID followed by pound. Otherwise,
Sorry, can Jen take her speaker off? Sorry, Jen.
That's not on my side.
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't know where that's coming from, but we'll hope it is muted. Okay, so mychallengetrackerportal.com is the first place a coach should go. This is the landing page they would land on. You sign in the yellow bar here with your coach email and password. So that what you use to access the Coach Online Office, and it sort of gives you a little visual of each of the functions you can do. Once you sign in, sorry, let me go and sign in with a different username. This is my old one. I'm going to sign in actually as Christy and show you an actual challenge group. So here, this is the landing page if you have a challenge group already set up. And what you're seeing these are current challenge groups that we have running. You can see some past challenge groups. So anything that has already finished will be saved here, and you can access all of the information for those groups so long as you don't delete them. And then down here at the bottom are video tutorials, and I absolutely recommend that everybody if you haven't yet, take a look at the Coach Portal video first, and then the participant app, and they go into a lot of detail around how they work and some of the features you want to make sure you're taking advantage of. So for the purpose of this, if I wanted to create a new group, which I'm not going to go through the whole process, but you would click on this new group orange button, and it's very simple. It just walks you through the name of your group, what program you want to do, description. You can set an image to show within the app. And then it kind of walks you through, here, let's do a quick one. We'll do Summer Slim Down. We're going to have a start date of today, and it's going to run for 21 days. It's going to be 21-day fix, and it's going to be a test group to get fit. I would be able to add an image there. I create the group. Then it would load with the coach profile information. So this was Christy's account I logged in with, her email address. And optionally, we could add a phone number that participants could either call or text you from. Of course, that's completely optional on your side. We already had preloaded a profile photo. This is going to show up to all of your participants.
Hey, Caroline, can I jump in here real quick?
Sure.
For some reason, it's not allowing me to mute the participants that are not muted right now. So, guys, if you're listening right now, if you guys could mute your audio, that'd be fantastic. Just so we don't have as much background noise. Okay. All right, Caroline, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. You can select your time zone to show posts in your local time zone, and basically your group is created, and then it prompts you to invite participants. You put in a participant's email address. We'll use me as an example on this one. You can add them to a list, so continue to add emails one by one. You can bulk upload an email list. And then when you're ready, you simply hit this invite participants button in orange. Now, I can also look at the email that's going to be sent, customize it, change the copy if I choose, and closing as well, but I'm happy with that. I can also send myself a preview of what the invitation email is going to look like. And then when I'm good, I just hit invite participants. And I can now see on my sent invitations page, which is under the invitations tab, that I sent an invitation, and that once I join, there'll be a check mark next to this. So if you have many people that you've invited, you can monitor to make sure that everybody has joined. If they're having trouble, you can reach out to them. You can also resend them the invitation email. So it's as simple as that. You can also add any files. So a lot of people like to add meal plans or the workout schedule, depending on what program they're doing. And you can add a PDF file for your participants to view within the portal. So at its most basic level, that's how you set up a challenge group. And it literally can take, 5 minutes. So I'm now going to go back to my home page. And now you can see this opened up this Summer Slim Down, which is the one I just created. No participants yet means nobody has accepted it. You can see some of the basic details here. I'm going to go into, for the sake of the demo, however, one that's already in play, which is Getting Stronger Every Day. We had a group, both internal and external folks at Beachbody Corporate. And we'll take a look at this particular group and show you some of the features once your group is started. So here, group feed, so it'll automatically land you on the group feed. And this is all of the posts and activity within the group feed that your participants have shared. So notes and photos, the fact that they've logged a workout or a Shakeology, and you can interact with your participants from this group feed page. All of this is mobile optimized, so on your smartphone, you can view this very easily and manage your entire challenge group from your smartphone with this with this mobile optimized website. So you can look at just the posts that you as the coach have shared to see, hey, what did I post all within my group? View all posts, add new, and if you add a new, you can add an image. You can also add a video link to YouTube, and then you can choose to post now or schedule a post or save as draft. So you can schedule a post for future. A lot of our coaches are setting up their entire challenge group to have a post a day go live, and they're scheduling those in advance. If you want to tag somebody in a post, you just do the @ sign. It'll show you everybody within the group, and select that person. And I'm going to do this is our Zoom test post. And that will send a notification to me on my app that we'll see a little bit later, and also add it to the group feed. Notifications within the portal, you can see here, so I can see any activity that my participants have made. And then all of my scheduled and draft posts, we don't have any in here, but you've got that view too. And then the participants list. This is really where the differentiator starts being very strong with Facebook. So in this particular group, we have 22 participants, and I can see sort of at a glance who they all are. If they've uploaded a before photo, which is indicated by a purple dot, if they've added a goal, which is the green dot, so immediately I can start reaching out to people and say, hey, I want to send a message to Toby, Jessica, and Matt. I see they haven't added any goal, and I can send them a message to say, hey, great idea to add a goal, helps with commitment, and they would receive that message in their notifications tab in their app. So it feels like a personal message from their coach. You're able to do it sort of as a bulk send to save time and make it more efficient. You can also sort all these columns alphabetically from when they were last active to those that have never been active, to reach out to them, sort by workouts, those who've worked out the most, Shakeology, notes and photos, etc. This group that we have set up is actually a multi-program group. So participants, when accessing the challenge group for the first time that you've invited them to, will indicate what program they are doing as part of their profile setup. And you can see all of that here. If I want to deep dive into somebody's account, we'll look at mine. I click on the name. It takes me now to the specific user profile information. I can see at a snapshot that some of the settings that I've set up for Christy to be able to see, since again, she's the coach on this one. I'm allowing her to see all my challenge photos, my weigh-ins, my notes and photos, and then push notifications. One of the questions that keeps coming up is, are our participants getting the notifications, to make sure that it reminds them to stay engaged. Engagement is definitely one of the key components of the success of this. So you as the coach can say, hey, it looks like you haven't been engaged, but you also don't have your push notifications on, and they can make that change. And I can see on a calendar view their activity level, and as indicated by them logging Shakeology and workouts. I can go to their activity feed and see their notes they posted with any of their workouts, their weigh-ins, photos, etc., and any messages that I've received from the coach. So any messages that I would have sent to that person. So if it seems like it's been a long time since they've received a message, I can reach out to them, congratulate them, recognize them on their success, or sort of encourage them to re-engage with the group.
One thing too, Caroline, that I wanted to note, that a lot of my coaches have been telling me that they've been getting a lot more of the before pictures than they used to get. Which
That's great.
Doesn't sound like a big deal, but it really is. You know what I mean? A lot of people have a hard time documenting where they started. You know what I mean? So having that before and after picture locked in place is really going to be helpful for them in their coaching down the road. So that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, there's always the incentive of the free t-shirt, which is really popular for participants who know it. I mean, you've just worked out, you get an exclusive tee, and by already having the photos attached and sort of taking care of that here, it makes it much easier for you on the submission side. And it rewards your participants in a great way. Okay, so this is the coach portal at its most simplistic. So is there anything, Joe, do you think that we need to hit on, or should we move it over in the interest of time to the app?
You know what, just in the interest of time to the app, I think it might be a good thing. And then once we've covered all the information, we can open it up to further questions at the end if there's more time. Perfect.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to sort of minimize this and now take you over to the my phone, and now give me a second here to load this back in. Are you seeing my phone screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So this is, now I'm a participant role, and I've downloaded the app from the App Store or to my Android device. And, there's a little tutorial from a participant point of view, get the idea of what it's about, and they sign in or create a new account. If they're currently a Team Beachbody account holder, they would just sign in with the credentials they already have, their email and password. A cool new feature of this that we did not have in the beta version is for any participant you invite that doesn't have a Team Beachbody account already, a free account, this prompts them to create one, and it automatically assigns that customer to the coach who invited them. So it's a really great way to get them into the system and part of your community if they haven't already been. And I'll just sort of show you what we take here, but it's similar to what you would be asked if you were creating a free Team Beachbody account on teambeachbody.com. Select your email address, first name, last name, etc. And it's very important that the email that you invite your participant with is the email that they create their account with. That there needs to be that match that happens between those two in order to make the login process as seamless as possible. So it's, always when talking to a participant, ask them what email address they would like to use, and that's the email that they should be accessing the app with. So going back, I'm going to log in with my own credentials, and we can see it from the participant view. Hopefully this is going to work the first time. Okay, so I actually belonged to multiple challenge groups because we have many going here, and we were trying out new things. What you're going to see right here before I exit the screen is actually what somebody would see at the end of a challenge group. So they get a little summary of their activity, how many workouts in Shakeology. Clearly, I had 0 engagement on this one. This was one of our test accounts. But you can view any progress photos, view your measurements and your weight tracking. So as a participant, you kind of get that summary screen. And then it's, want a new challenge? Contact your coach. And it'll immediately pop up the coach information that is available to contact your coach. So right now, I only have email option available. I am the coach of this group as well, so we've kind of switching around a little bit, and I apologize for that. We had a different plan for this demo. But now, from this participant perspective, I'm both the coach and a participant in a challenge group, so to keep that in mind. And I close out on this, and then so this is a challenge group fixed for life. If you belong to multiple challenge groups, you click on the little hamburger menu up in the upper left corner of the screen, just to show again. And then you see that you're in Fixed for Life group, so it always will tell you what group you were just in. But then just below it is My Groups and one new group. If you recall, I created that quick little challenge group, so it's showing here that I've been invited, and I had invited myself. It's showing that I was invited to another group. So Summer Slim Down is the group I had created in the portal. I simply hit an accept button. This is what your participants would see. And assuming the emails matched, again, making that point of the email you invited them with is the same email that they accepted the invitation and logged into the app with, all they'll have to do is hit that button to accept and go to the home screen of that challenge group. And then they're in. You can also, as I scroll down this page, see my current active groups. So Getting Stronger Every Day, which is the group that I was just showing you that was already in progress with Christy as the coach. And you can see here that there's 3 notifications in there, and we're going to dig a little deeper into that. I also have an active Hammered and Chiseled group. And then you can see at the bottom sort of the past challenge groups. And your participants, if they've belonged to multiple over time, will have this same view. Of course, for the first one, if it's the first group they've ever been invited to, all they will see at the top is the invited, not active or past down below.
So quick question as well, for just like when people first download My Challenge Tracker on their phone and they open it up, the first thing it's going to ask for is the code, right? So can you walk them through that portion? As like, let's say they have a coach that just, or somebody that just downloaded My Challenge Tracker on their phone. They
So-
open it up and asks for the code.
They don't need the code. That's why I was mentioning. So this is a significant change that we made. The code is only a last resort backup. All of you, if the email address that you invite your participant with is the same email address that they access the app with, you never need a code, ever. That match is going to happen. The portal will recognize you, the app will recognize you, and tie you together to your coach. If, however, so that's why we've added messaging in both the portal and in the app to say when you're creating a new account, like, use the email address your coach invited you with, because we're trying to draw that very simple connection and then you never need a code, ever. The invite code, as you see right here on the screen, is only needed if necessary. It's only if the emails don't match. So it's sort of drawing that bridge between the email that you invited somebody with and the email they're accessing the app with. And it's bridging those two together to say they are the same person. And the only time you would need to use that invite is the very first time you access. Because from then on, the participant just logs in with their email address and that connection has already happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes great sense. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And that is definitely something we get a lot of questions about. And those tutorial videos that I mentioned back in the portal, and your participants have access to them as well, to the app version, are really important to view because it talks you through some of those little nuances that may not be immediately obvious. And especially if you were part of the beta group, I think those folks, you know, had learned it a different way. We simplified this based on a lot of feedback. So the team did a great job trying to make that an easier user experience. So just remember, the code is only a last resort if the emails don't match, the one you invited them and the one they log in with. If they do match, you never need the code. Okay, so I'm going to go into, sorry, I was clicking on my screen as opposed to my phone. I'm going to hit Getting Stronger Every Day, which is my active group, to kind of show you. Well, let me go through a profile setup very fast. So this is that new group I had just created. Christy was the coach on that. It gives you the dates. It's a welcome, shows the coach's profile, so your photo would show up here. And then I hit Get Started. Remember, I'm the participant. My goal, get healthy. And it says your goal will be shared with your coach because we think that's very important. Up at the top, you see in the right corner, there are certain things that a participant can also skip if they choose to. So they don't have to enter a goal right away. You can always encourage them later if they're uncomfortable putting one in. But hopefully they feel good about it. You can add a before photo, has some tips there, or you can skip it for the purpose of time. I'm going to skip it. It'll say the workout program preloaded because I had selected when I just created that group 21-day fix. So it's going to show them that. And then I, as a participant, choose what my flavor of Shakeology is. Hopefully, many of them are using Shakeology. You can also select none if you don't want to. And then you choose your reminder. So I have my reminder to myself as a participant at 7 p.m. If I haven't logged anything, I want to get a reminder from my app to say, hey, check in. And it defaults to getting a reminder. So hopefully that helps prompt people to do it. And then privacy settings. Clearly, this is very important. So it sort of explains to you that you have options on what you share with your coach and kind of walks you through that. We default everything to share with your coach. Though as a user, I can turn it off if I'm just not comfortable. And then at any time during the challenge group, I can change that setting. So if as a participant I come in and I don't know my coach very well and I'm not sure what the experience is going to be, and I default to no, but then over like the first few days, I get a sense of the community and it feels safe. I can always change those settings. And then that information will again be shared with the coach. So then they'll be able to see all of that. And then I hit done. And now I'm in my app. I hadn't added a a post when I created that challenge group. I didn't add anything in the group feed, but if I had, it would show up latest from your coach right here. And today is day 1 because I had chosen today, and I can get in my group. So that's kind of the very simple flow of how a participant would access your new challenge group. And you can add participants at any time in your challenge group. So it doesn't have to be at day 1. So if somebody's, wants to join and it's 5 days in or however many days, you can just send them an invite. They will join. It'll say day 5 of 21 or whatever, wherever it is in your current challenge group life cycle. And they could always go back. So let's say it is day 5, but they've been sort of drinking Shakeology along the way. They could add that information, backfill it for the days that they may have missed. But I'm going to take you to sort of a more active group for the purpose of this. So, and now you see that invited group that had been up there, that new Summer Slim Down, is now under my active group list because I've gone through the profile setup. So that means I'm in my group. I'm picking Getting Stronger Every Day, the top group. And today I worked out this morning, so I had already logged my workout. I just had my Shakeology, if you can see it, my cup. So I can now show you. So I'm on day 22 of this 30-day challenge group. You saw that when I was Christy in the portal, I had said this is our Zoom test. That's the last inspiring message the coach sent me. So I just wanted you to sort of see how it shows up in the feed. So the workout I'll add a Shakeology. So you just click on the Add Shakeology button. Delicious. Add a comment to it. I'm going to take a picture of my not very attractive, add a photo. Camera of my not pretty Shakeology cup. And then at the bottom, you see share your note and photo to the group. This is a cool feature for the actual live version. We did not have this in the beta. So if I say yes, this post that I just made will show up in the group feed so that all of the participants can see that I've logged my Shakeology, I have a photo, I made a note. A distinction is you can only share something to the group feed if you add a note or photo. Because we didn't just want, a post saying that I drank my Shakeology. We want to keep the feed engaging and rich so that people kind of want to check in with it. So we highly encourage, and as a coach, we certainly encourage you to tell your participants to add a note or photo with their posts. Then they have the option of sharing it to the group feed. So you hit Add Shakeology. It tells you that I added it, and for the week, a little message there so far. And then you can close this out. Now you see my Shakeology is indicated as being added. And at the bottom, I can see my post. So there's the 3 little people icon at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to click on that. That indicates your group feed. You could also click on this big blue View the Group Feed button. And now this is really the Facebook wall. This is where, sorry, I accidentally hit the wrong button on my phone. My apologies. So this is the group feed, and again, functions very similar to the Facebook wall, right? So here at the top, it functions similar to the Facebook wall with some additional benefits. So let me just show you kind of a feed. So you just saw me take a picture of my shake. This shows up in the feed. All participants can view this feed. My Christy test is in here. We've got, I worked out this morning after the cruise. I had posted this little note to the group earlier today. Christy, as the coach, this is her post. Catherine had logged to Shakeology. So in this feed, I can see all the activities of people in my group. And I can comment, similar to Facebook. Malia, in this case, would get a notification in her feed that somebody had commented on our post. I can also functions the same way. So you kind of this should be a pretty familiar experience. One of the nice things is you can also, maybe you have 100 people in the group and really you just want to see the coach posts. You kind of want to filter out all of the other participants' posts and just get the messages from your coach. So I have the option of filtering my view to just see my coach's posts to me. And then I can also see the posts that I've posted to just see what kind of activity I've had from the app as well. So
and this is like, I think a big portion of the support that coaches can give to one another, and the engagement and enthusiasm and all that stuff that is important for a challenge tracker to have, or a challenge group to have.
Absolutely.
Also, just one thing, I think we've got about 2 more minutes left.
Okay. All right, so info and files, this shows you if you had files attached, and also shows you who are all in your group, and I'm going to talk really fast. The plus icon at the bottom, this is where users can add also weights, measurements, and progress photos. So throughout my challenge, and I can also scroll back if I missed a day. Yesterday I didn't add a Shakeology or workout. So very simple user interface there for people to add their activity. And then sort of moving to the right, there's also me as the participant. I see all my progress. So my workouts that I've logged, my Shakeologies per week, see how I'm doing, my weight tracking, and then all of my activity. If I click on up at the top, you see progress and activity. I have a stream of everything that I've added into the group. And then notifications. It's the last icon on the bottom. And I can see, some of the notifications that I, this was the post that I had made. It can take me directly to that post in the group feed. I mark all as read. This is a brand new feature for the newest version of the app. So
what is that? I'm asking, what is that?
Stop.
I'm sorry?
Oh, it's still doing it.
And then you can also delete all of the posts. And so that was something that people had requested. You have settings to see the notifications that you have. And I think at the end of the day, that's sort of the basics. And I know we're super tight under time. That's the basics of it, So I definitely encourage people to watch the tutorial videos. You'll get a sort of a much cleaner version of how the portal and the app work. So Joe, are we able to have any final questions, or we should?
I think we might just need to wrap it up just because we've got just less than a minute left. But Caroline, Christy, huge thank you for coming on and doing this. I think this is going to be super helpful. We'll go ahead and push this out to the other coaches so they can share this with their team as well. But I hope that you who are joining the call have kind of gotten a